Alright, in this lesson, we'll continue from where we stopped last time in the previous lesson. So, um, we have here a function, area of a circle. Yeah, we have here a simple script, in which we find the area of a circle and the area of the volume of a cuboid. Right, so let's scrap this part out, and then here, because these two are in the same folder or in the same location, or they are in the MATLAB path, we can use the function, you can use the function within the script, okay? Because MATLAB will know where to find it. The radius now. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention: circ area. Right, so circ area, this variable here, the output that we create, has its own local workspace. Within its own local workspace. So if we come over to the workspace here, you will not find circ area, even though we ran it here. We ran the function here in the command window. This variable, unlike all the variables that we created in the simple script, the variable created within the function does not appear within the same workspace as the command window. This is its own local workspace. So any variable you create here inside this function will not appear within the workspace or scope of the command window. So it's like everything here is a secret, while everything created within the function is secret to the command window, whereas everything created within the script is made known or public to the command window. Okay, so different workspace and then same workspace. Right, so here now we want to use the area of a circle function. So you see here it's asking us for the radius. So we just pass in the radius, something, let's say 10. Okay. So now we're using the function we create within this script. So radius, okay, so let me do it this way. Radius is equal to 10. Radius area. Alright, very good. So we save this now and then we run simple script. So simple script is going to run the same way it ran before, because nothing has changed. All that's happening now is that we've simplified the code so that we'll use a function to calculate the area. So that's what functions are mainly used for. They are a structured block of code that can be reused as many times as necessary. They are more reusable than scripts. Scripts are mainly just run this, and then maybe print out, display some output. But a function has a definite purpose. It is meant to do a single thing and then produce an output. Takes in an input, produces an output. That is what a function is for. The more structured than scripts. They have their own local workspace and they have they're defined by these two keywords in this format. So you create the function by starting with the function name, the output name of the function, and the input. Define within the function body whatever the output will be, and then you end with the end keyword. Right, that's how you create your function. So let's have another one. Create another function for finding bending mean. Beam stress. So beam stress is force on a beam divided by the cross-sectional area. Okay, So we're going to assume that the beam is circular in shape, so that the cross section will be a circle. The cross sectional area will be a circle. So we're going to create a function. I'm going to update the entire simple script. So that we'll be creating, we'll be finding the beam stresses. So let's have the radius of the beam to be 10 units. Let's have the force to be 20 units. Radius be 10 units, force be 20 units. So we'll need to calculate our area. So for the area, we would use we can use our function area of a circle, passing the radius, and then our beam stress will be F divided by area. Then we can display the beam stress is this beam stress. We save this and run it here. Should have no error. The beam stress is this x5. Now let's extract this part and put it in its own function, finding beam stress. The function, now you want the output. So the output will be beam stress. I just call the output stress. Now the function name, the name of the function, you can call it beam stress. This is beam stress. And then the input would be two things, right? You would have the force and the area. And then you define whatever the stress is within the function body. So stress is force divided by area. Very, very simple. Save this. Beam stress. This would be beam stress, not ground stress. Beam stress. I misspelled it here. See, the name of the script, the name of the function, sorry, name of the file should be the same thing as the name of your function. If not, you have that error. Beam stress, right? So everything is okay. I come back to the simple script. This now I can change beam stress, the function, pass in F and area. Now you notice that the name of our function here is the same thing as the name of our variable here, so that will eventually bring up cause an error. So let's just change this to, let's say, sigma for stress. So with our two functions now, two functions we've created, area of a circle and beam stress. Area of a circle calculates the area, and beam stress uses that area along with the force to calculate the stress. And we're using both of them inside our simple script. So we save this and run the simple script. Same thing as this: index in position 1 exceeds array bounds. Index in position 1 exceeds array bounds. Okay, I see what happened. Now, when we ran beam stress before, it then created that variable, and now we have it here in our workspace, right? But what we want is for beam stress here to be a function, not a variable holding this value. Okay, so let's first clear that beam stress value from our workspace. So clear beam stress. So it is now eliminated from our workspace, no more beam stress. So now we run this script afresh so that it will now know that beam stress is the name of a function, not a variable. The scripts, and we have beam stress. Excellent. So these two functions are run. The area of a circle is calculated using this radius, and is then saved to the area variable, and the area variable is used along with the force value passed into the beam stress function, and then saved in this sigma variable.